Hey, welcome to this edition of Frequently Asked Friday, where I am going to help answer your questions that you have about nutraMetrix. Yeah, my name is Sarah Tugender. I am the National Sales Manager with nutraMetrix, helping you make this year your most efficient and effective with nutraMetrix. I'm going to make sure my notifications do not aggravate this broadcast. Doesn't look like I can. Okay, we'll just move on. So today's question is in regards to a health professional registration. What do you bring to the sign up, as we call it? So what are we doing? There are a few documents that you're going to do. First tip, never, ever, ever do the registration live with the practitioner. Practitioners are super busy and they don't need to sit there as you go through the sign-up wizard, as you go through and you have all these questions. Now, I think a common misnomer is that in the past we did have an account setup form. There was a little bit of a problem is because some of our consultants were going and not then showing the health professional our terms and agreements. And actually showing them the registration form. So we did away with that, and I'm going to now tell you how to properly conduct a sign-up. This is going to be really easy for you. It should be simple. It shouldn't even take that much time for you or for the practitioner. So what you're going to do is there's going to be two documents that you are going to print off. One is going to be either the HP1 or the HP Executive Agreement Form and Registration Form. You're going to find this in your back office on unfranchise.com under nutraMetrix. You're going to download that and you're going to print 2 copies. So you should have already established with the health professional whether they are going the HP1 or the HP Executive route. The second document you're going to bring with you is the UFMS agreement form. So this is another, it looks similar, it's a one-page document and it has a similar look, I would say, to the registration form. That's it. That's what you're going to bring for them. Now at this time you should decide or have decided already if the health professional is going to register with their personal tax ID or social security number, or they're going to register as a business. Are they going to register as a couple, as an individual? They just, so is it the practitioner and their spouse? Is it going to be just the practitioner, or is it going to be as a business? In the health professional implementation guide, in the practice planning guide, you will find a checklist of what you need to bring for business documentation, or what you'll need to gather for business documentation if you're registering their account as a corporation, as a business, rather than just as an individual. I would say most of the registrations that I do, 99.9% of them end up being individuals. But there really is no right or wrong. This is a consultation that you need to do with the health professional to figure out tax-wise what is the best thing. And if you need any help, we'd be more than happy to help and schedule a conference call with you. Just send us an email at nutraMetrix@nutrametrix.com, and one of us can help guide you through that process. What's going to happen is the health professional is going to fill out those 2 forms, the registration form and the UFMS agreement. You're then going to either make copies and give them the copies back so they can see all of our terms and agreements, or they're going to send that registration form into you. You then, at home by yourself, you're going to go into your sign-up wizard. You're going to go through the registration process. So in case you come across any glitches or anything like that, you'll know you can streamline right through that. You can get them into the system and registered. Figure out what the best email address is going to be for the healthcare professional, because you want to make sure that that welcome email that goes to them for them to set up their nutraMetrix website, that they know that they're going to either forward that to you, or together you're going to access that again to sit down and to be able to go through and set up their nutraMetrix and accompanying websites that they have access to. The other thing you'll want to gather is figure out what they want to do for their initial order. And so we have some guidelines. It's about 2 weeks worth of inventory for the office, plus personal orders for the health professional and family, and for staff members. So I like to distribute catalogs around the staff, for the staff when I know we're placing an order, collect orders from everyone, and I work out with the health professional if we're going to offer the wholesale cost as a professional courtesy to staff members. So you'll figure all that out, and then you'll go ahead, you can calculate what that total is going to be before you go ahead and place that order with the healthcare professional through the sign-up wizard at home by yourself. But it's really important that they have on file for themselves a copy of their signed terms and agreements and conditions. It's a little bit different than the ones that are for regular unfranchised owners. So they need their HP1 or HP executive agreement. And I like to make sure they have a copy of that on hand. Now, this is just best rule of thumb, what I like to do. I also like to make sure I have an active and valid copy of their license before I go in and I conduct their registration. And I like to do this. I know we have 30 days, but hey, I think that being prepared is the best policy. Hey, let me tell you, I have, after the fact, when asked for the license, found out that the health professional wasn't actually an active license holder of whatever profession they said they were. This happened to me, and I had to go in and dissolve their nutraMetrix, their health professional organization. They couldn't have access to it because they didn't actually have a valid and active license. That can be an embarrassing conversation, so I suggest don't make the mistake. I've made just about all of them. Don't make that mistake. Collect that information ahead of time. Be prepared. Send that in either via fax or scan it in and send it to nutraMetrix at nutraMetrix.com, and we'll put that on file. Other best practices include, if your health professional is on the case-by-case basis, before you promise them that they'll have health professional status, email this in to nutraMetrix at nutraMetrix.com. In our qualification list, there's some guidelines around what you need to send. So just do that. Again, this is going to make it so it's really not an uncomfortable conversation when you register them and then you find out that they actually aren't approved on our list with nutraMetrix. Let's not be awkward. Let's keep this a really seamless and easy process. So basically, my biggest rule of thumb for this frequently asked question is to make sure that your health professional has copies of the terms and agreements when you're doing a registration. So you're going to do that by downloading the registration form for either HP1 or HP Executive and the UFMS agreement, having them fill out the information and sign it, give that to you with a copy of their license, and then you can go ahead and start the registration on the sign-up wizard yourself and not take up the time or billable hours, as they like to call it, for the healthcare professional. I hope this has been another great addition for you of Frequently Asked Friday. If you have a question that you would like answered on one of these sessions, just shoot an email to nutraMetrix at nutraMetrix.com with the subject line FAQ Friday, and they'll get that over to me, and your question could be featured on one of these episodes. Again, my name is Sarah Tugender, nutraMetrix National Sales Manager, making this your most effective and efficient year yet with nutraMetrix. Have a great weekend.